Welcome back to the review of areas of polygons. Now, areas of polygons and areas of curved figures. We'll just throw that in there. So at the end of today, you're going to be able to find the area of a parallelogram, square, rectangle, triangle, kite, rhombi, trapezoids, regular polygons, and some irregular shaped polygons. Okay? So, this is just a review of the Kahoot review. You should have already done the Kahoot. And this is how you do the answer. So, number one, rectangle, very easy, length times width. So that would be 4 times 15, which is 60. As simple. Number two, a square is side squared. So all the sides are equal, so you just multiply the side, 20 squared, and you get 400. Now you can also do 20 times 20 and get 400 as well. Number three, parallelogram. Parallelogram has the same pretty much area as a rectangle, because a rectangle is a parallelogram, but instead of length times width, it's base times height. And remember, the height is the distance between the two parallel bases, right? And it makes a right angle with each one of those parallel bases. So in this case right here, it is 12 times 6. My base is 12, and my height is 6. This 8 is just a slant length. That doesn't help us at all. Right? Number 4, so 72. This one's a quick one. Triangle, 1/2 base times height. Now, you just need your base and your height make are perpendicular, okay? And the height is a perpendicular with the base, and it it extends to the opposite vertex. All right, so in this case, the light blue, the 7, makes a right angle down here and goes up. So the 16 and 9 would be good to find the perimeter, the distance around the triangle, but they serve us no use of finding the area if we already have these two pieces. So area equals 1/2. 18 times 7. 9 times 7 is indeed 63. Right? Easy as pie. Let's go to the next one. Another triangle. 1/2 base times height. What you should have done here was use the 12 and 16. Half of 16 times 12 is 96. Now, say you were just given the 12 and the 20 and not the 16. You would have had to use the Pythagorean theorem to find the 16. All right? So that's the only thing. All right, next one. Kind of figures that. 2 parallel sides and 2 legs that are congruent. That is an isosceles trapezoid. Area of any trapezoid is 1/2 height, which I have highlighted here is 8. And then you add the 2 bases. The bases are indeed the parallel sides. So 1/2 of 8 times 18 plus 26. Half of 8 times 44. Because you have to add these together first. Half of 8 is 4. 4 times 44 is 176. Right? Problem number 7. You got another trapezoid. Distinguish the base, distinguish the height. The bases are 2 parallel sides. The height makes the right angle. So it's a shorter distance always between the bases. So 1/2 of 6 times 19 plus 15. Half of 6 times 34, which is 102. See, nice and easy, right? Let's go to the other side. Number 8. Kite. Or a rhombus. Now, why is it a rhombus, not a kite? It would have been a kite if these and these 2 different pairs were different sizes. But since they're equal, it's a rhombus. So, what do we got here? Rhombus, 1/2 of the whole diagonal times the whole diagonal. Now it says 15 is this diagonal, so we have to multiply the diagonal by 2. And diagonal 1 is 30. 10 is this piece, so you have to multiply that by 2. And 2 times that is 20. All right? 1/2 of 30 times 20, which is 300. Not too terrible, is it? Number 9. AC is 42. BD is 23. Half of 23. Oh, I should have mixed those up. Whatever. Half of 23 times 42 is 483. Right? Number 10, AC is 25, BD is 33. Same formula, half of 33 times 25 is indeed 412.5. Pretty easy, right? Ugh. Kite, half the diagonal, 1 diagonal, 2. Now in this case here, we're missing these 2 pieces, so we have to find them. So we know that this is perpendicular. The diagonals are perpendicular in the interior of a kite. We have 20 and we have 16. So we could use what to find that? Pythagorean theorem, because that is a right triangle. So that is our a squared plus b squared is c squared, x squared plus 256 is 400, 400 minus 256 is 144, so x has to be 12. That doesn't help us. 12, okay, 12 and 12 is 24. 16, we still need this piece right here, which is not 12. What can we use here? Another right triangle. Right, we need to find the 12 one first though. So x squared plus 12 squared is 13 squared, x squared plus 144 is 169, and that happens to be square root of 25, which is 5. So 5 and 16, 12 and 12. So 2 times 12, this is diagonal 1, DC, is 24. Diagonal 2 is AB, 5 plus 16 is 21. All right. Use the formula. 1/2 of diagonal 1, diagonal 2, 1/2 of 21 times 24. And as an answer, you get 253. That was a really tricky one, right? That wasn't too bad. You just had to use other rules. You had to use rules from right triangles, which you guys know. Ready for the next one? Let's go. We're going to Kahoot along. This is a quick lesson because we spent most of the time doing these Kahoots in class. Right here, area of a regular polygon. We're going to start with a decagon. Oh, I slid that over too. How did I mess them both over? All right, so really quick, area equals apothem times perimeter. Apothem is A. That's the distance from your center to the midpoint of a side. Your perimeter is the distance around the figure. So the way you find that is you take whatever the side length is, and because this is a regular polygon, all the sides are the same. So it's just the side length times the number of sides. All right, now for number 12, there was a little minor mistake here. I'm going to go fix this. See how this 11 goes here? It should be going to the midpoint. I did this with the final review too. So this goes from here to here. So 11 is actually connected to the midpoint, and 11 is your apothem. So decagon has 12 sides. 12 times 6 is 72. Your apothem is 11, and 1/2 of 11 times 72 is 396. Right? This figure right here, see how this goes to the midpoint of the mid segment. Octagon has 8 sides, right? Perimeter is 8 times 16, which is 128. Apothem is 20, so it's 1/2 of 20 times 128. The 24 is only good if I'm not given the apothem or a side length, because then you can use the Pythagorean theorem to chop the side length in half and do a squared, b squared is c squared. But we didn't need to do that, so we didn't need to do it. Ready for the next one? Got a couple fixtures. Got to go. Oh, 1280 was your answer. All right. Now these two irregular figures. First thing you're going to do is you're going to cut them if you have not already done it. You could do this 2 ways. The way I did it is I cut everything horizontally. If you cut it vertically, that is okay as well. This gives me 2 identical or congruent rectangles. They are 7 by 2s, right? 7 times 2 is 14. This one right here is 26. And then you have 7, 2, and 2, which is 11, right? And then you got 286. 286 plus 2 times 14. And as a final answer, you get 314. Okay? Easy? Of course it is. You just gotta say this is 2 because this is right in the dead center. I should have wrote 2 there, but I could fix that as well. Alright, this one. You're gonna cut this. We did this one in one of the chapters. You cut this vertically, that's your hint. You got a rectangle. 34 times 7. 34 times 7 is, 238. Now you have to find the area of this guy. That guy is a trapezoid. Area of a trapezoid, so you got 11. The base is 34. Now the height here is 12. The reason for that is 19 minus 7 is 12. All right, there's your area, 1/2 of 12. 11 times 34, 12 times 45 is 270. Add the two together, and as an answer, 238 plus 270, you get 508. All right, that's it. 314, 508. And bro, almost done. Another one. This is a little tricky one. Not too bad. It's rectangles. I like to cut things horizontally. For me, it's easier that way. 6 times 42. 252. This one. All these marks here mean these are all 6s. So this is 6 by 42 minus 15 is what? 27. So it's 27 times 6. 162. All right. 42, 42. So this is 42 again, and that's 6, so it's the same as up here. That is 252. And now you just got to get your last guy right here. So this is 42 plus 6, right? And 42 plus 6 is 48. That's your length. And your width is 30 minus 6 minus 6 minus 6. So 30 minus 18 is 12. So this is 12, and this is 48. Area equals 12 times 48, 576. Because these are not overlapping and you're not taking them away, you're adding them together. And your final answer is 1,242. All right? Now, I want you guys to try number 17. All right, 17. You have 3 figures here. All right. First figure. Oh, actually, you can do this with 2 figures. What's that? Parallelogram, right? 16, 16. Height is 11. 16 times 11 is 176. A lot of people try to cut it like this, but then you don't know what this piece is. That's the problem. And you don't know what this piece is. You can only cut it the ways where you know the pieces. And then what do you have down there? You got a trapezoid. The base of the trapezoid is 16 and 9, and the height is 20 minus 11, which is 9. 9 times 25 times 1/2 is 112.5. You take the two numbers, you add them together, and you get 508. Hey, not too bad. I have to make these ones because they're easier. 18. Hopefully you guys can see on my computer screen the 12 and the 14 here. All right, so let's go. You have a square. So if you went trapezoid, trapezoid, rectangle, I guess you could do it that way. You can do it that way, but I think this way is easier. You take the square. 24 times 24 is 576. Oops. All right, and then you have the trapezoid right here. 8 and 24 are your 2 bases, and your height is 24 minus 14, which is 10. 1/2 of 10 times 32, which gives you 160. You take the two numbers, you add them together. Okay. Follow me? I saw you subtract them. And a brain freeze. And you get 416. Okay? If you did it the other way and found all the trapezoids, this trapezoid would have bases of 14 and 24 and a height of 12. This would be a 14 times 8 rectangle. And this one would be 24 would be the height, and 24 and 14 would be the bases. You could multiply all this stuff through and still get the same answer. Right? So see, same answer, different way. Right here, same basic picture. What do you have here? Same thing. You have a square. And out of the square, you're going to take out trapezoid. You have the same problem twice in a row. You should have gotten that out. So 20 by 20, right? This one right here, you take your trapezoid. 1/2 of 8, 10 times 20, because all these sides are the same. 120, because you're taking it out, subtraction, your answer is 280. Right? We all good? All right, that's the number 20. What is that? Star. So you got your, what's a 5-sided figure called? Pentagon. All right, it's a regular polygon. So our apothem here is 2. Our perimeter is 4 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So perimeter is 4 times 5 is 20. The apothem is 2. All right. So 1/2 of that is 20. Now, since this whole thing is 6 and this is 2, that means the height of each one of these triangles, which are all congruent, is 4. All right. So when we do the triangle, it's 1/2 base times height. All right. 6 minus 2. 6 minus 2 is 4. So this height is 4. So that means your base and your height are both 4. So 1/2 of 4 times 4 is 8. And I have 5 of them. So my total area is the area of all the triangles minus the area of the pentagon. So it's 5 times 8 plus 20. And 40 plus 20 is 60. Okay. All right. So that's a review of all the areas. Pretty simple stuff. This is stuff you're going to need to know to solve volume for bases. And just stuff in general. How can you go through geometry without knowing areas? So if we didn't even get to this year, now you can look at this and pick it up really quickly. Will you ever use it in math again? Probably not in high school. Will you use it in real life? Maybe. You never know. So always good to know what to do. Most practical thing. One of them. All right. So till the next lessons on volume. Good luck on the test.